Well, thank you very much, Rob, and thank you for inviting us to this exciting launch of your report. I know that Lord Taylor is here, and I know a number of DEFRA officials are here, and we are really excited about what's contained. And what an auspicious time to launch this report. Unless I'm wrong in my data, I think it's actually the 20th anniversary of the creation of the British Retail Consortium. I think it was brought into being in January 1992, and here 20 years on we're celebrating that anniversary with the launch of this report. It's also auspicious because it happens to be 20 years since the original Earth Summit in Rio, where everyone committed themselves to putting the Earth on a more sustainable footing. But it's quite clear, I think, to everyone, there's still a long way to go. And what you set out in this report is clear evidence of what the retail community is doing to achieve those aims. So I really want to congratulate you on that. And just if we think over the last 20 years about the way in which retail practices have been transformed, the way in which people shop now in bigger outlets, in shopping centres, with new technology like barcode technology, the use of the internet, all of these things have transformed the consumer's understanding of the way they exercise their choices. There's been a big cultural shift. And speaking to one of your exhibitors today, because retailers understand that basic point that the customer is always right, it's hearing from the customer how much they care about the environment. 20 years ago, I don't know if the level of awareness was so high, but today awareness of the environment is mainstream. And you're responding to that with the initiatives that are set out in your report today. I think it's important to recognise them, but I think we also need to challenge ourselves with the long way ahead of us. In June this year, world leaders will meet again in Rio to assess the progress that we've made and to plan the way forward. United Kingdom is determined to show leadership at Rio Plus 20. We've started early by engaging other countries around the world and encouraging people at home to get involved and engaged. So we're looking to make some tangible outcome from Rio that will protect nature, secure economic stability, and make a difference to people's well-being in the long term. It will be, of course, governments negotiating with governments, but there's a really exciting opportunity for the retail community because our Brazilian hosts have decided to convene members of the business community and members of civil society in the days preceding the gathering of ministers. So in that forum, if you go, you can help shape that tangible outcome from Rio. So I hope that you will go, some of you, and you will really help us in our endeavour to show leadership on the international stage in terms of progressing sustainable development. I know you know this is important because in 2010, a survey of chief executives around the world, 90% of them said that sustainability was critical to the future success of their companies. And it's clear through this report that the British Retail Consortium recognised this. The progress documented in today's report is exciting. But what is invaluable is the recognition that sustainability and growth go hand in hand. Reducing our carbon emissions is crucial, but I'm really glad to see that your report takes this initiative wider. It goes beyond carbon, and that is so important. The economy we're reshaping needs to be resource efficient, zero waste, and environmentally friendly, as well as low carbon. So thank you for your pledge to support both our plan for growth and our green economy roadmap document. For retailers, taking action within their own business is, of course, only part of it. It's the influence that you have on your customers and along the length of your supply chain that makes retailers crucial for green growth. Today's report says retailers have a profound influence on the lives of millions of UK citizens. Globalisation means this influence is now expanding to consumers across the world. So retailers have a powerful voice across production sectors. And again, global trade means that this influence extends right across the world. Of course, with this influence, you understand well, comes responsibility. Responsibility to encourage resource efficiency so that supplies aren't threatened and savings are made. Responsibility to bring about waste reduction through better design and reuse, as well as recycling, responsibility to inspire respect for nature and an understanding of its intrinsic economic value, and a responsibility to encourage resilience, and in particular, climate resilience. So the work that's being exhibited here today just embodies that very responsibility. I've had a chance to go through some of the stands, but I'm looking forward to getting around some of the others. I just stopped at the stand that Asda have with its everyday experts to assess the attitude of customer sustainability. And a very strong message came across to me there, one that we completely embrace, that consumers want to go green, they want to do the right thing. What we need to do is make it easy for them to do so. And that stand talked about the way that Asda as a company is trying to do that. I had time to stop at the Co-op stand, and I'm impressed to hear that their aim to make palm oil sustainable across all uses within their company has made even more progress than I'd appreciated, that they have put it on a sustainable footing already and that they will have traceability completely by 2015. That's impressive. Morrison's Let's Grow initiative, I've been to see it in my own constituency, is reconnecting children to food and nature, helping them understand fundamentally why we need to move on to a sustainable footing. And Sainsbury's is now the largest retailer of Marine Stewardship Council fish. I got quite excited about this when I went down to Weymouth in the teeth of a gale and was encouraged to go on an inshore trawler. And it was explained to me by the fishermen that actually the customer awareness of the blue logo for sustainable fish was resulting in a huge opportunity for fishermen to embrace new technology, to be able to supply retailers with that confidence that the fish has been sourced sustainably. We all know the TV chef coverage has done a huge amount for our understanding of what is sustainable fish and what is not sustainable fish. And, you know, all credit to the retailers who've embraced this with an easy to understand logo. So once again, helping the consumer to do the right thing. I think it's a tremendous example. Then there's Tesco's partnership with 2 Degrees to provide a knowledge hub for their suppliers. And I stopped at the Booksellers Association stand. And I think the heartening thing there is seeing a very simple tool that will help perhaps quite a small high street bookshop work out what its carbon footprint is, actually making it easy once again for people to do the right thing. So I'm very encouraged to see the lengths that you've gone to help everybody be part of putting us onto a sustainable footing. And many of the companies we see exhibiting here today are the big household names, and they demonstrate how they appreciate the responsibility they have for moving our economy onto a sustainable footing by providing that framework that helps the smaller companies right along their supply chain be part of delivering on sustainability. So I look, for example, at a company, APS Salads, a wonderful example of a small company pioneering combined heat and power that has been growing carbon neutral tomatoes since 1998, but having the vehicle to do that through the large retail outlet that they supply. So these are examples of companies, small, medium and large, who have embraced sustainability as an intrinsic part of the way they do business. Now, Rob mentioned the support for DEFRA's Green Food Project. We're very grateful for that. It's one very good collaboration that we've had where government, industry, environmental and consumer organisations are all working together to help us produce more food sustainably, one of the key priorities set out in DEFRA's business plan. So I want to thank you for that. I also want to thank you for your collaboration on resilience and emergency planning. You've been a member of DEFRA's Food Chain Emergency Liaison Group since its inception in 2001, an important piece of the resilience jigsaw. Your input to planning for the pandemic flu outbreak in 2009 was absolutely vital, and your work with us on maintaining business as usual in adverse weather is something I, as a new Secretary of State, have really appreciated. And we appreciated Andrew Opie's major contribution to the Retailers' Resilience Workshop in November. Resilience is becoming an increasingly important issue. With changing weather patterns we're already experiencing are projected to continue, even increase in their frequency. So increasing frequency of extreme weather events is something that we've got to adapt to. Last week, I'm sure you heard, we launched our climate change risk assessment, groundbreaking piece of science, the first nation in the globe to have as sophisticated a risk assessment tool. And now it will halting frequency of extreme weather events is something that we've got to adapt to. Last week, I'm sure you heard, we launched our climate change risk assessment, groundbreaking piece of science, the first nation in the globe to have as sophisticated a risk assessment tool. And now it will help us by forming the basis of our national adaptation plan, a nationwide, sector-wide plan which we will develop in conjunction with every sector of the economy, such as yourselves. Part of the adaptation strategy must be about resource efficiency. As our waste review emphasised, working towards a zero-waste economy is crucial both for the environment and for the economy, and retailers have demonstrated powerful innovation here. Boots the Chemist, for example, exhibiting here today, haven't been to the stand yet, but really hope to do that, has been making use of recycled plastics. Food retailers are redistributing food that would otherwise go to waste. Waitrose is working to overcome customer prejudice and selling blemished fruit. I've just caught sight of them, but they were kind enough to send a sample of those into DEFRA earlier. They didn't last long in the office, I have to tell you. They were soon consumed. So customer prejudice did seem to melt away very quickly in the presence of the delicious apples. And so I think that there is much more we can do on packaging and recycling. But in December we launched a consultation on increasing the recovery and recycling targets for packaging waste. And the closing date for that is February the 10th. So again, please do, if you can, take time to let us have your views and your expertise. So in conclusion, I began by talking about your anniversary and about the 20th anniversary of the original Earth Summit. And I'd like to end by emphasising the opportunity that Rio Plus 20 presents to us all. It offers the chance to create a global declaration of the need for green economic growth, the chance to set new goals and the steps to actually achieving them, the chance to home in on key sectors such as agriculture and energy, and the chance to express the links between the urgent issues we all face. Our Brazilian hosts are preparing a great summit for us, and I really hope we'll have a strong UK presence there. This is important because if we are to build a truly stable green economy, both business and government needs to put sustainability at the heart of its decision-making. The BRC is showing the way forward here. I applaud your leadership and I look forward to working with you even more closely in the future. Thank you very much.